Hello and welcome to the Sound Lab podcast, interviews unedited. On today's show, we have interviews from Ream, Oversize, Thank, Keg, and we also throw back to Glastonbury Festival 2022 to chat to Brooke Combe. So without further ado, let's kick off and play you our first interview from Ream. Guys, how are you?
I'm good, you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So we've been playing a new single of yours called Do It Anyway. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
There's no instructions involved in this. It's a reflection on the fact that we did do it despite everyone telling us not to do it. We did it anyway. So what I had there was like I was trying to tell you earlier, but when we're doing the live gigs, I remind people that both You're the Best Thing and Things Gonna Get Better at one point they just heard for the first time. So when we're doing that, we get them singing the hook from the front, you know. And I played Alan a backing track I'd done a while ago, and I made a pitch for Kylie Minogue back in the sort of spinning around and Kathy Dennis record, Can't Get You Out of My Head. And I had this idea about night vision, sort of, you know, think of neon lights and sort of spotting someone across the floor and what have you. And I sort of parked that because it never made the cut. But when I played it to Alan, I didn't play him the song. I just played him the intro. He thought that was really good, and he took it straight into like the smoke-filled rooms, warehouse parties, laser lights, and that kind of set us off in a brand new direction. And then the rest, we just sort of come up with that chorus idea about not caring and living in the moment. And it seemed to really speak. It's almost got that. It has got a little bit of did it my way, je ne regret rien sort of vibe about it, but I'm not sure that we did that consciously. It just became that, you know, it wasn't designed to do that initially. It just became that. And that's what we do with the writing. The song sort of leads the record, and that's what we've got now. And it speaks well for the album. It's got the idea. If you look at the artwork on there, we've got the roulette table. You know, it's about taking chances, it's about a gamble, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is off your new record called Do It Anyway. The sound that you made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of how it turned out in the studio?
It's always how it turns out in the studio. I don't think it's any conscious plans initially. Sometimes it's lyrics that lead things, sometimes it's music that leads things. It's just however it goes. It's whatever's in the head and what we both like. So if Pete does something,
how we're feeling it.
Yeah, feeling it, we do it. So
but if you sat down and says, look, this one's going to be an 80s retro thing. That one's going to be by, you know, what are they called? Air, Moon Safari. That one's going to be like Portishead. This one will be just like completely like George Michael. We didn't do that. It's just when the ideas come, we kind of sort of chase the vibe of it. And then that sort of dictates how it ends up sounding. And that's why we have we were talking about a cheese board, a smorgasbord of sounds and genres.
Yeah, and I'm sure you wrote more than what made it onto this record. What happens to those tracks now that didn't make the cut?
I think we've got a few. It's funny because when we started doing this, and after the last album, I think we worked hard on that last album. We're really proud of it, and Open Hearts, Open Minds. And I think there was a moment where we thought, oh, right, we'll have a bit of a break, but we didn't. And we just started writing even more. And so I think we've written more songs than normal. And so we've got some in the back burner. We were going to do a triple album. It was this foolish plan that we'd go and do some sort of concept album. It's going to have like 35, 40 songs in it. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have all these little sigs and all this stuff. And in the end, sense prevailed. And now we've got it's a double vinyl album, but we've got a few tracks. And one funny was on the album literally until the last minute. It was mastered and everything, and then we thought, no, it's not working with the overall feel of the thing, so it's still there. So that's got to see the light of day, obviously. And we've got a load of other songs that were pretty much nearly finished as well, which we will. Some of them are great, really great, but it didn't fit with the feel with the overall album. So I think we've got a few tracks there we can put on EPs and whatever, and we'll no doubt just start writing again, which is kind of what seems to happen all the time.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's 5 records in for you guys now. How has the music and how have you guys evolved over the years? I think over 20 years now since your debut through until now.
30. Yeah, geez. Oh, God.
30, yeah.
Yeah. No, it has changed. I mean, the scene has changed and social media has changed everything, hasn't it? Because it just feels like there's less of a scene going on now, or scenes that I'm aware of. Um, Alan still DJs out, but I rarely go out unless it's our live performances. That's what I really go out for. Um, so it's for me, it's all changed, and I'm not really hearing anything that's currently going on that makes me think, oh, there's a new movement. Not even like Britpop or even like house, if you know what I mean. There's just nothing that's doing that. I'm discovering people like Larry Levan at the minute, and I missed out on a whole load of the early house. I know he's laughing, but I didn't join the dots. I had no idea these are titans. I was hearing piecemeal tracks, so it just shows you my naivete. But yeah, sort of filling in the blanks now. I'm even finding people that can fill stadiums that no one's heard of, like Zach Bryan. I mean, that's just where we're at.
Yeah, yeah, and go on.
So I think it's that we are old now, and there'll be lots of kids that've got their own scenes, their own thing going on, and so they will, that we know nothing about. With regards, I don't think it's any been a music genre or anything that's come through, like say like drum and bass, probably one of the last ones when you had your. I don't think it's anything come through for years now. Really, I think it's just rehashing. I think old stuff, really, isn't it? With what's going on now, I mean. And it's less clubs, there's less venues and stuff for people to go to as well. So I think, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, I DJ a lot less than I used to. Again, that's an age thing, I think, as well. So I don't think those 4 to 6 slots every Saturday would be very good for my health, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And 1983, your debut came out. What was the writing process like, and the recording process like back then, and how much has it changed today as well?
Well, it's massively different. The kind of democratization of music has been really progressive. I mean, when I was growing up in the 80s, just getting into a studio was like, nigh impossible. You had to have a lot of money, really focused, and we did a lot of like live takes just to get the demos done. And then you fast forward to like 10 years later in the early 90s. I just got hold of my first sampler called an Akai S950. I had an Atari STE, which sort of became the go-to computer because it had two MIDI ports which could connect to outside music equipment. And sort of began to learn how to try and make records because, I get fed up working with drummers couldn't keep time and wouldn't keep the beat I was looking for. And so when I got my first drum machine together, I was able to sort of get my vision down onto tape. So then eventually, by the time I was working with Alan, it was it had even moved on again. We were really conscious of how untight the Atari was, so we started printing things to tape to get them tight. So we'd start with the code, and then the kick drum would go on the other end of the 2-inch tape, and we built it up like that, and we locked everything into time like that, and that's how we got them sounding sort of good and tight. But now, I mean, you've got the entire world. I mean, that's 30 odd years forward. All of these synthesizers that I had, like the DX7 and the Jupiter 8, they're all in there now. They don't go out of tune, they don't break down, they don't need repairing. It's incredible, and these reproductions that they've done are so accurate, and they've improved them as well. They've added all sorts of lovely stuff on. So it's always overwhelming the amount of choice you have at your fingertips, where we didn't in the past. It was, if you think of it, the palette was restricted to the instruments that you had, a DX7, an Atari, and an S950. So it kind of made the sound particularly that. In fact, there might be even a case if you want to make a record that sounds like that to go back to just restricting yourself to that. So then you get something that's more like Disclosure, where they're really focused on the specific synths. So that's how it's really changed. And then obviously there's just the direct to fan base contact, which is in one way brilliant. I don't know how we would have fared in that, but yeah, maybe we would have done just as well. Yeah, it beggars belief that now anyone can put out anything out, but that's the problem. It's made the sort of background noise even more. So trying to stand out in that environment, if you're starting out now, must be like a mountain to climb.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I think I hear like over 1 million tracks are released onto Spotify each day, I think I've heard. So
it's incredible. And then half of them are AI by Spotify themselves. So how do you compete when Spotify are, stealing from musicians?
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm sure many musicians don't want to kind of
Yeah, they
go
don't want to
rattling
rock the
off.
boat because they're
No,
afraid they'll get banned, you know?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But talking back in time, still, there was more of you in the band when you were starting off. Obviously, people know Brian Cox, Alex as well was in the band with you. But there's obviously just the two of you now. What's it like, kind of writing and recording with just the two of you now as the
Well, to
main
be
band
fair,
rather than
we were
come back
always
now?
just two. The others were just band members or people who got on stage with us. It was always just Pete and me in the studio, and then Pete, obviously the other musicians would come and do bits and pieces. When we did the first album, we had quite a few guest musicians come and do bits, and I think the producers, well, the engineers helped a bit, didn't they? With
Yeah.
this, but generally it was Pete and me in the studio, and Pete was much more the writer then, and now it's more folk. We both kind of do things
Yeah, we both definitely.
together now. We've got more as we've got older, and I've sort of I've forced my foot in, and I'm doing a bit of this. Whereas
Yeah.
back then I was just happy, just like going around and just saying, yeah, well, a bit of this, bit of that, and then people just get on with it. But yeah, but I don't think we'd work well with too many writers in a room. To be honest, I think I'd struggle with that with loads of people like chucking ideas. And I think Pete's done the band before. He would know more than me when he did Pie the Boy before the Ream. That would have been no more for was it 4 people?
Yeah, it's a normal kind of indie four piece, but you do learn how to work on structures and take the parts and come up with all those lovely little riffs and refrains and stuff, and how that can drive the sort of overall shape of a record. But when I sat down with Alan, it was very, very different to that, because the whole the structure of dance music was well, it wasn't really written then. So we were kind of we felt looking back on it, we were pioneers in our own way, because if you look at even the structure view, the best thing, the verses have got 12 bar blues structure, and the choruses are kind of through composed in that they stay in the key, but they move through a lot of different shapes, and they go into normal sort of. There was no sort of standard pop structure in that song at all, as far as I can see. It took quite a lot to squeeze it into what we hear on the radio.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, the process for us now is like it's really intuitive, it's really quick. We don't second guess things much. We rarely fall out over stuff. We're just really keen to get through, and we put in, between 10 and 16-hour days sometimes, just because we've no distractions. We're not My studio is not in the city; it's in the countryside in Ireland, so we're away from any distractions, of parties or friends, and all the rest of it. So we just really focus on what we're doing.
Yeah, good, good. You've been busy this summer. You've done a couple of shows already. You've got some more to come. How have they been going down?
Brilliant. They're great. The crowd really goes for it. I think after all these years, we've got to know kind of what we're doing now. So it's good. We have a mix of the old stuff and the new stuff, and I think we've got a nice balance the way we work it, so it doesn't get too much of the old stuff, but people don't know it, and then or too much of the new stuff. We try and mix it up so that it keeps the feed off each other. And as Pete said, we've got to remind everyone that the new stuff, you've got to listen to the new stuff. You can't just have the old stuff, and the old
And-
stuff, the new stuff will be old stuff soon, and the old stuff was new stuff.
and that's our stuff, isn't it? But we've got Hardwick coming up this weekend, then Framlingham Summerfest, Dreammakers Ball, Glasgow, Crown Plaza in October, and then we've got Bradford, October 18th. So we've got a few dates to look forward to, and the chances are there might be something else coming in before the end of the year. But we're on the festival circuit now, and we won't really be doing our own live shows until something good happens with this album. So we've got to just keep the faith and see how that goes.
Are you hoping to be booking in at all? Is that the hope? Is that the plan?
I
That
think
would be ideal.
there's a few that's come in, like Bradford and the place and Eastleigh. We're doing a gig in East in September. They're literally us live. So, but there's a few venues are taking a chance because but doing a whole tour, having a promoter doing a whole tour, that's a much more difficult thing to organise financially and everything. It's just not unless you've got that sort of thing behind you, a big hit or something behind you, or
Yeah.
well, even a minor hit, but something that's on the radio all the time. So that it's hard to promote things unless you've got and you know what you're doing. Some promoters I find that I think it's amazing. They put these bands on and they know their areas, and they just seem to fill these venues. And you think, how are you doing that? Because if you know your area, it's fine. But if you try and do like if we try to do a gig, say I don't know, crew or something like that. I don't know anyone there. And you just wouldn't be able to do it. So it has to be someone who's local, who knows those places, knows the places to do the posters and all this sort of stuff. And people will come, but it's difficult. And I think it's difficult for all bands, regardless of how big or small they are, to consistently fill out venues, and especially in small towns. So we'll see how it goes. We're hopeful, and I think we've got an agent. They seem quite hopeful, but we'll wait and see. You know, we just turn up where we're asked to turn up and try and do the best show we can.
Yeah.
And what's 2026 going to hold for you guys?
More of the same, hopefully. Just we'll be promoting this album now for the next 3 months, I would think, and then Pete and I no doubt get in the studio again.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that we do get a tour in our own right, because it would be a great opportunity just to have it the sound the way we wanted, the lights we want where we wanted. So kind of putting a lot on that. For myself, I'm working. Alan's got his Field of Dreams and his own label there, so he's working on that and his own live parties. I've got an autobiography I'm working on, and I'm hoping to have it out by spring next year. I've just got a literary agent, a fellow called Matthew Hamilton from the Matthew Hamilton Agency. He's just had a bit of success with the Kevin Rowland book, and he's put out the new Simple Minds autobiography as well. So seems to be we're in peak saturation, I think, with media, aren't we, Jim?
We're not very good at social media stuff, are we? That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because there's this thing called, I don't know if you know, have you heard of Book Talk? Not TikTok, with Book Talk?
No.
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of authors who are just turning now to social media, and they're just like Jack and Ori, they're just reading their books or snippets of their books on Book Talk, and people, if you look at Book Talk and the stats, TikTok and the stats, people have got the attention span of a goldfish. They're just clicking on for 20 seconds and then moving on. Whereas Book Talk is for people who are like actually going to sit and listen for a few minutes. So it's really interesting how that's evolving. And it's giving authors a chance to present their work. They're just reading from it, almost like a living audiobook. They're doing live broadcasts of the book. So I'm interested in that going forward.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with the Ream to talk about their brand new record, which is out now. Now, we are all over social media, so come and find us at The Sound Lab Yes on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. Now, while you go and find us and follow us on all the socials, we're going to play you our next interview from Oversize, who we had a chat with at 2000 Trees Festival. So, Oversize, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. You're here at 2000 Trees.
Yes, sir.
How's your day been so far?
It's very humid, very warm. I'm very dehydrated.
Yep.
But we move.
Yep. Classic British weather.
Yes, indeed.
You don't like it?
Well, I would love some rain. You know, I normally, I would love it. That's the dream.
I think when it's 30 degrees like this, you kind of want rain, but then when it rains, you're like, bring back the sun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's long. It's a long one. But no, it's nice. I'm a sun guy. I'll take the sun over any rain, even though I'll still bitch about it, but I'll take the sun.
Especially doing this.
Yeah.
Imagine doing this in the rain.
Exactly.
Done it before. It's not fun.
Not it.
It's not fun.
You need a little umbrella for your camera.
Well, yeah, that's true. I try to put the cover back on whenever I can, but it's busy for me, so it's not often going back on at the moment. But we digress, because you're here at Trees. Once you finish here this weekend...
What's my what, sorry?
Once you finish here this weekend, what's the plan next?
I'm really terrible at retaining this information. I usually look at my notes app and be like, what have I got on? We've got some shows with a band called Glare, who are really sick. They're from the States. Love that band a lot. So do some shows with them. We have a tour with a very cool band called Slow Crush in Europe. They're taking us out to Europe for the first time, which we're very thankful for. They've got a new record coming out called First, and it sounds great. So I'm stoked. And I've loved that band for a very long time. So there's been a lot of that recently, of like bands that I love who are asking to take us out. And the band kind of bully me for it, because they're like, why is it always the bands that I love that are asking to take us out and play shows? But I'm very gassed on it. So
Good.
Yeah.
And any studio time booked in this year?
We are writing a lot at the minute.
Uh-huh.
We got some heat coming. Hopefully some new stuff sometime. Some new stuff sometime.
Soon? Later?
Sooner rather than later. Not a million miles away. But we got some heat. We're cooking, baby.
Good.
We're cooking. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Can't wait. How's it sounding?
How's it sounding? Mate, we like rock and roll hits. If you imagine the Beatles, but they play rock music instead of rock music. That's that's how it is.
You're not the only band who's compared themselves to the Beatles today, so
we
so
sound
it's a
like
trend
Beatles.
for the day.
No. We I think we wrote our debut record like a fair while ago. I think we recorded it nearly 2 years ago, and it's only just really come out. So we were sat on it for a long time, and between then and now, we've written a lot of stuff and a lot of different type of things, and we wanted the debut record to be like a piece, like start to finish that as an album. But now I think we're focusing more on like individual. Here's a song, and then like we'll worry about it fitting to an album later.
Yeah.
Not worrying about too much about the flow right now. Just be like, this is sick. This song's sick. Different styles. Not too concerned about how we're going to shoehorn it in, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know what direction you're wanting to go in?
It's difficult. I think like that comes down in like production, about like how we kind of the demos sound. Although the song structures normally stay the same, the sounds change massively from the demo when we go into the studio.
Yeah.
But I always loved like Military Gun's approach, where they their first EPs were like super kind of gritty and hardcore, and then they released their debut record, and it was like very hooky and poppy in times. And we love pop music, so we kind of like we're trying to incorporate a lot of like pop sensibilities into like big loud guitars.
Yeah.
I think that's our next like goal, is like, if this didn't have big loud guitars, like this could be a pop song in some kind of weird space.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we'd love to kind of do a bit more of that, and like hooky, poppy kind of sounds, but with massive guitars. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I think. I'm not sure if Lou's going to approve of that, but
why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not? I'd like to talk about the writing side of things as well.
Yeah.
So for you, how do the tracks normally start off?
Everyone in the band writes, which is sick. Like very different from like any other projects we've been in. Like everyone plays guitar. My favourite song on the record is a song called Something Clean, and that was written by our bassist. And then, you've got like Lou wrote Vacant, and then our drummer wrote the intro to the record and stuff. And so, everyone kind of like brings the kind of skeleton of the song, and then whoever it may be, and then we kind of fill in the gaps elsewhere. But that's like really, I think, what makes it so collaborative. There's a lot less pressure, because everyone can kind of give their 2 cents or bring something to the table. I wanted to like rip off Helmet, so I was like, I'm just going to do this 2-minute fucking riff song, and we're going to do that, just for a change of pace. So it's like a lot of things like that we can all kind of like chip in and feedback. But it definitely makes it a lot easier being in a band when everyone can write.
Yes.
So
Yeah, is it not a case then of too many cooks where it's kind of a bit overcrowded? Is that not how it works for you?
I think it can be, but we're all on a really good level. We want what's best for like the record and for the band, and it always comes back to, does this work for the record or the song? And if it doesn't, I don't think there's ever any hard feelings, which is nice. I think we explore a lot, and if it works, great, and then if not, that's fine too. Because we always want like the end result to be better rather than someone's feelings getting hurt or something, which I don't think no one's ever taken anything like that badly. And I think we all appreciate that as well. We're all quite honest to a degree of, this works and maybe not, or we'll try this, didn't work, fine. So
and this year's slowly getting away from us. It's soon going to be 2026. What's the plan for you guys in next year?
Next year, maybe. I shouldn't. I'm not going to say anything in stone, because it's probably irresponsible of me doing that so early. But more music, more shows.
More music, more shows.
More music, more shows. There will be more music. There will be more shows.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Oversize from 2000 Trees Festival 2025. Now, if you're listening to us here on Spotify, then you'll be pleased to hear we have a fresh playlist to bring you. 150 brand new up-and-coming artists that we feel like you might just enjoy yourselves. And if you want to check that out on Spotify, search for Fresh by The Sound Lab on Spotify, or head to our website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click on the Fresh Playlist button. Now, while you go and save that to take a listen to after this podcast has finished, we're going to play you our next interview from Thank, who we had a chat with at both 2000 Trees Festival and Truck Festival. But the 2000 Trees Festival interview didn't record. Oh dear, yeah, it was too hot for the camera and it decided to shut down. So instead, we had a little chat with them at Truck Festival as well. So, Thank, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank you, yeah.
Thank you. Good.
You're here at Truck Festival. How's your festival experience been this weekend? Have you had much of it?
Not really, no. We only got here today, and then we played, and now here we are talking to you, having a lovely time.
How was the show?
I'm having a lovely time. I feel really good about our set. I had a really fun time on stage. It seemed like there were lots of people having a good time in the crowd. There was a circle pit during the last song,
Nice.
which was unexpected. A lot of people singing along. Yeah, I felt like we stood out like a bit of a sore thumb on this lineup. So I didn't really know what people were going to make of us, but actually, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, the vibe was lovely out front. We got here not too long before playing. Super, super fun set. Crowd were absolutely lovely, well up for it. And the vibes here are amazing. Really good. Yeah, we've been out for a little walk out front and we're going to get some scran soon.
Nice. Sounds good to me. You hoping to catch some bands as well while you're here?
Yeah, I want to see Loose Articles and I want to see The Ratons. Those are my two picks. Anyone else?
Freddie loves the ratings.
I do. I do. I love The Ratons.
Yeah, ratings for me. I've just come straight from watching a bit of Cherem as well
Yeah.
on the Nest stage that we played on. They were superb. That was very cool. And maybe a bit of Lambrini Girls later if we're lucky. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think we may end up chipping off before Lambrini Girls, but I would like to see them. Let it be known that I'll be there in spirit, even if not physically.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, once you finish here this weekend, I think you might just have just the one festival still booked in, am I wrong?
So we're doing the Tramlines Fringe tomorrow, and then we're doing Arctangent in like 3 weeks, I think. There's maybe one more, but we're waiting on a confirmation, so who knows?
Won't
We'll
announce that
find
one
out.
just yet.
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Do you know what we're doing?
I'll tell you.
All right. There we go.
Just follow him, he'll be fine. And you've got a tour coming up as well.
Oh yeah, sort of. Well, we're doing some dates in October and November with our friends McCluskey. I think we've been announced for some of those, and then there's some that are yet to be announced. So for anyone, I think I'm fairly confident that we've been announced for the Oxford show on that tour, and we're doing at least 2 others, possibly as many as 6 or 7 others. So I guess if you keep an eye on the McCluskey tour announcements, we're definitely doing some gigs on that tour. That's what I can confirm.
Are you hoping to do some of your own shows as well this year?
We're playing a gig at Mill Hill Chapel in October, I think it is. That's like the Unitarian Church in the middle of Leeds. Gonna be like a kind of collaborative thing with a light installation by our friend Rob Malloy. Very excited about that. No, I just felt like you would have something to say about Rob's light show.
Oh, about Rob's. He's doing something with stained glass, isn't he? He's like doing a lot of wild stuff. He did one with us before, and it was just like he put loads of lights in the middle of the room, and then
You can come round if you want.
And then he made everyone wear like these wild glasses that made everything even more shiny. It was a lot, to be honest, but he was looking forward to it. Do you want to see?
Yeah, go on then. the gang's all here.
Squeeze in, squeeze up.
Oh, wait a minute, that's better. Look, Teddy's moving his bottom.
Lovely. Much nicer
Chaos.
when you're all here.
There we go, that's it.
I had to put it with Freddie at 2000 Trees, and
Was it? Yeah, it was just me.
it was just you.
I was fried as well. I'm on much better form today.
You got a cap on as well. That
I
helps.
do have a cap on. That does
He
help.
was grouchy at 2000. You were tired, weren't you?
I was too tired.
He was overtired and overheated.
And Naomi's the only person not wearing a cap. How does it feel to be not wearing a cap?
It feels dangerous on a day as warm and as sunny as today. It's like the band is 75% sun protected right now. I'm the wild card. I'm the risk taker.
It's alright, you've already played those, so it doesn't matter.
That's
I
it.
mean-
Doesn't matter what happens now.
Yeah, I should have learned my lesson after 2000 Trees, which was a terrifying, terrifying sun trap. Fantastic festival, but there's such a thing as too sunny. There is such a thing.
I thought I was going to die after 2,000 trees.
There's a lot of bucket hats here. We could buy you a bucket. I saw 5 bucket hat shops, so we could buy you a bucket hat. That'd be all right.
Maybe that'll, yeah.
Suit you as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And where are you at with music at the moment? Have you started doing some writing, some releasing?
So we played one new song today. We've got one new song in the set called Handsome Crying Man. That'll probably be on our next album, I think. We've sort of got a bunch of other songs that are half written. We need to just finish some more. I feel like we've probably got almost an album's worth of songs that are like half written. We just need to finish some of them. How do you feel about that, Steve?
How do I feel about the half-finished songs we got? Well, we've ended up moving around practice rooms a load over the last 6 months. We've had a bit of trouble with our sort of community practice spot, so it's been a bit of upheaval. But I feel like the stuff that we're writing's it's been pretty strong. I think so. Looking forward to that.
I think the new record, it feels like it's coming out way more like rock riffs than our usual fare, which I feel quite good about, but it's not on purpose. Lewis on the face of me when I said rock riffs.
I feel like everything's like half written. I'm gonna have my way with it. I feel like half of it's gonna be like horrible, noisy bollocks that I've got to insert.
Just glue 2 halves together and you've got a song.
That's it. Yeah, perfect.
Sounds easy, doesn't it?
That's basically how we usually operate, so yeah.
They don't even have to match, just kind of... That makes 3 minutes. Do you know what direction you're wanting to take the record?
What, me personally?
Well, yeah, sure.
It sound like the Ratons.
I really want it to sound like the Ratons, yeah, exactly. How do you want it to sound, Naomi? You weren't even... Naomi's standing in on bass for us at the moment. How do you want the next record to sound? As an impartial adjudicator.
I want it to sound like the future of bass playing.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Well, you got to do extra work, don't you? Because you got to make sure that you're in for the future as well.
Yes, but with great respect to Cam, the current and ongoing and permanent bass player.
You want to replace him?
No, I absolutely don't. Hang on, I thought this was an impartial interview.
You're putting her on the spot here. Cameron Moyte is not dead. Cannot stress enough that Cameron Moyte is alive and well.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Thank from Truck Festival. Now, if you are loving today's interviews, then you'll be pleased to hear we have an international radio show that brings you all these interviews in an edited form. We also have a load of new music and a live session on there too. It's for 2 hours. And if you want to check that out, head to our website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click International Radio Show. Now, while you go and do that, we're going to play you our final new interview, and it comes from Keg, who we had a chat with at 2000 Trees Festival. So, Keg, how are you?
All good, thank you.
I'm very good, thanks.
Hot.
We had a good set. We played a good set, and it was really busy in the tent, which is great.
Yeah, for 1:30, the crowd was great.
Nice. That's what you want?
Yeah, that's what we want.
Any plans now? What are you doing the rest of the day?
We're going to go and have a festival
See
day.
if we can find any new bands we haven't seen before.
McCluskey.
See McCluskey.
Like to see McCluskey. That's probably the main thing. But I think just enjoy the sunshine and have
I want to throw it down.
Yeah, throw it down. Throw it down.
Nice. Once you finish here this weekend, what's the plan for you guys?
What's our next show? Is it Deer Shed? No.
Yeah, Truck Festival.
Truck Festival, then Deer Shed.
And then stretch in Europe, in Holland, at the end of the month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here come the drinks. Here they come. It's all right. No, we're good. Everyone squeeze in.
Gin and tonic.
Here we go. Everybody in.
Gin and tonic. Oh, I thought it was water.
Lord provided.
No, I'm good. No. I'm good. Are we all squeezed in? Everyone want to say hi to the camera?
Hello!
Hey. There we go, look at that. So guys, where were you at with music at the moment? Have you been back in the studio recently?
We have 4 tracks pretty much done. And then we've probably got about 5 ideas that need to be done, finished off.
Yeah.
So we're at that point, Again,
idea remember at the moment. considering the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like you want 9-10 tracks for an album, right? I think we got writing next week.
We've got a lot of debt to pay off. So we really need to come out with a lot of material, just get back in the green.
Nice. Getting together 7 people is a logistical hellscape.
Yeah, I spent loads of money on Bitcoin. So. Don't tell me about that. Yeah. And it's. No, don't. I've got some. I've lost money. We'll just leave it at that, shall we? Yeah. Speaking of logistics for 7 people, squeezing everyone into a camera is also difficult.
Yeah, you can see.
It's just about. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Yeah. So, with new music on the way, how's it sounding, and is it kind of the sound that you wanted?
It feels a bit beefier, doesn't it? A little bit beefed up.
I mean, yeah, it's always the sound we want, and we there's a filtering process. There's some of the songs that don't make it, but we got one called Sig Chimp Riding on a Chopper, which is probably going to be the lead single.
We've got a lot of these like half ideas on voice memos from like 7 months ago that were great at the time, and then we just haven't practiced enough, and then they just.
Oh, you kind of go through your voice.
We got the wormy touch.
Yeah, wormy touch.
But yeah, I
think
think
that's a good one though.
I think it's definitely a bit more concise. I think concise is a good word to say. With a bit more like we know what we are good at as a band now. Whereas like the last album was like ideas from like the first set, and then we spent way too much time deliberating over it rather than just being like.
I think we need to trust in the process, trust in ourselves a bit more. And
it was
lay it down, just let people decide whether they like it or not. And
I just think we just got to keep watching Minutemen documentary over and over and over again.
With Jay Meccano.
Just watch that over and over again, and then we'll be in a good place.
Good. And when it comes to writing, how do tracks normally start off for you guys?
Something like that. There's a nibble of an idea, and then we all look at it like, oh, that's pretty good. It's different. Sometimes it comes out fully formed. Like a few of the last songs have a space of about 2 hours.
I think we jam more now.
Yeah. I actually have something of semi-merit to add to this conversation. So,
go for it.
Semi-merit. So I feel like there are 2 ways of making music generally. You either like try to sculpt things from pre-existing ideas, or you chip away from mass noise, and then you make a sculpture out of you take everything away that isn't that song. And I think we're basically the latter, aren't we?
Yeah.
We make loads of noise and we just play loads of like 99% of the time it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And then it's like. Whoa, you got a 1% where it's like whoa, so everyone's like, okay, that's good.
I think like we originally started out with like ideas or like, oh yeah, this is this track I've done, this riff I've done.
Yeah, like the Beatles.
Yeah, like the Beatles did. And then I just think it's way less impersonal doing it that way, because we like a unit.
We work hard though. Once that idea's there, it's just over and over again, like the grind mentality, and just kind of.
So it's taken It's taken probably a bit of time, but I think it will be better and for it that we're doing it that.
And is it quite a bit collaborative? Is it a collaborative approach?
Massively.
Yeah.
It's like completely collaborative now.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
On a whole, everyone's very. There's a lot of egos, and so it's just managing that as well.
Yeah.
But we trust in our end product, I think.
There's a lot more listening these days.
And I guess we have this thing as well where
we mature.
we are like known as a heavy band, but then we're making softer tracks.
It's good to explore though.
Yeah, but I mean,
I feel like from the very start though, we were like, let's just make anything. Anything goes. Let's not put any parameters on it.
Yeah.
Let's not box ourselves in. And I feel like you just have so much more fun doing it that way. And you get so much more out of it as well.
Yeah. And you must have some things that you want to accomplish as a band. What's one thing that you really have to do?
America. That would be fun. Or Japan.
Yeah, definitely.
I've already done my one of me personally was to play a massive festival stage, and I've done that. So
Paradiso was one of mine. Paradiso in Amsterdam. I was done.
Hopes and dreams. Yeah. I just recently, just 10 minutes ago, discovered one of mine, which is Keg Italian Tour, which I don't think many English bands get to do, and I would absolutely love to go on one gig a week. Then the rest is just chowing. It'd be fucking great. No, we need to let that puttanesca sit for at least a week.
We could start in Genova and we go down to Siena and then Florence and then
Go to Bologna. Oh yeah, man! Turin, Napoli, fucking Palermo, wherever will have us. Catania.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Keg from 2000 Trees Festival 2025. And this is the part of the show where we like to throw back in time to an interview we did in previous years. And we're going to go back to Glastonbury Festival 2022, where we headed there to chat to some artists. And one of those was Brooke Combe, who had started to make big waves in the music world. And we had a little chat with her back then. So, Brooke Combe, how are you?
I'm not bad, thanks. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. So you're here at Glastonbury. How's your day been so far? You got to catch much today?
I just seen a bit of Blossoms. My mate Chaz on the bass, so I had to go and see him. And I have not done much else yet, but yeah.
Looking forward to your set later as well.
I'm buzzing to just be here, eh? So it's kind of a dream come true. So I'm absolutely in my element.
Good. And you've been releasing singles recently. Miss Me Now is the recent one that we've been playing. Tell us a little bit about the single.
So I wrote that about a year ago this time, summertime, and I was getting bevied with my mates and whatnot, and I ended up back with my ex, and I was like, oh, bad idea, eh? But makes for a good tune. Like that morning, wrote it straight away, and it's kind of like a summery tune, so I'm quite excited to play it here tonight.
Yeah. For sure, and you've released a few singles now, but are we gearing up to a bigger body of work, would you say, or are you just sticking with the singles for now?
I think for now we'll stick with some more singles. I'm in quite a good place because I get to release a lot of tunes that are very different, because I feel like I'm still working on that Brooke Combe sound. But I think there will be a bigger body of work. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that, and rightly so, I think.
Good, and the singles have only been coming out fairly recently, so would you say that you kind of took the step into kind of releasing and writing kind of proper songs to release to the world because of the pandemic, or was it other things that prompted you to do that?
To be honest, the pandemic really helped me, because obviously no one was working and we were just at home, so I was just writing, uploading videos to Twitter and whatever, and my manager and stuff seen it. But I think it gave me a lot of time to research songwriting and really think about like what's a good tune for me, what message do I want to say, you know what I mean? So I would definitely say it didn't hinder me anyway. Yeah.
Surprising how many artists have been saying that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So you're a multi-instrumentalist as well. You play so many different instruments. So when you go to write a track and write a song, kind of what are the steps that you take to get it to a stage where you've demoed it and you're like, yeah, okay, I can take it to the studio now?
I usually just write on guitar or keys, work on a melody vocally, and then start writing lyrics around it. The lyrics for me are it's a proper hit or a miss. I'll write something within 3 minutes, or it'll take me 2 weeks. But once we're past that stage, I'll just send it to James Skelly, and we'll get in the studio and get some. We'll do a better demo then.
Good. And you've been on tour recently. You've had the pleasure of supporting the Coral and Miles Kane. What was it like to get asked to support them on their tours?
Amazing, just because it's like a family at this point, so it just made me, it was quite a proud moment for me, and I felt quite like, wow, they've asked me to do this, so it was a pinch me moment. But doing that tour with Miles, it really shaped me. I needed a bit more confidence, I would say, in my performance, and I definitely think that I gained that from that experience. And even watching Miles every night, his charisma on stage is just something to learn from in itself. So
good. And this here today has kind of kicked off a festival run for you as well. There's so many festivals that people get to see you at, so what other festivals have you got lined up for the summer?
I've got Transmit after this, but I was just thinking to myself, this is only the second festival we'll have ever done, so I'm very proud of that. But yeah, I've got Transmit coming up, Tramlines, there's hundreds, so it's way over my head at the minute. But you'll catch me everywhere.
Yeah, good. And looking towards the end of the year in August and into the autumn and winter time, you'll be wanting to be on tour. What's the plans at the moment?
I think we'll get out there, do a little headline tour, which I cannot wait for. I just love, as much as it's boss playing in huge venues, when you're in a tiny venue and it's sweaty and crammed and everybody's really belting your tunes back at you, you know it's all love and support. So I'm really looking forward to just a run of little tiny venues and stuff towards the end of the year.
Good, great stuff. And looking towards 23 as well, what's the plan? Do you think it's going to be a releasing year, a touring year, a bit of everything? Kind of what's going through your mind at the moment?
I hope it's a bit of everything. That's what keeps me going, to be honest. I like to just dip my toe into everything. But yeah, I think hopefully a bigger body of work to come and definitely more shows. But I think I'll be working a lot on writing as well next year, for sure.
Good. And you must have an aspiration, kind of a bucket list of things you want to kind of tick off. I'm sure Glastonbury was going to be one of them. What else would you say? What would be the one thing that you really want to achieve while you're releasing and writing music?
I really want to play at Edinburgh Castle. That's kind of a big one for me, to just see all my people there. I just think it would be amazing. And you know what the Scots are like, they love a party, so I just would imagine it to be really amazing. So that's probably my main thing, but I don't like to get too far ahead. I like to keep in the here and now.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Brooke Combe from Glastonbury Festival 2022. And that's the end of the show for another week, I am afraid. But don't you worry, we will be back next week with another episode of Interviews Unedited. But if you can't wait until then, social media at The Sound Lab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Interviews Unedited. Goodbye